No, our guest is Bimo the Prince. If you know him on TikTok, you know him. He has close to 1 million followers. He's got 35,000 followers on Instagram. He is hilarious. He is my buddy, my pal. We used to work together at 103.3 Amp Radio in Boston. And I'm allowed to say that now without losing my severance because A, my severance is gone, and B, so is the station. So, Bimo, I'm so freaking excited to talk to you. I miss you. You are so talented, and I just love what you're doing on TikTok. So yay! Hi.
That's an intro right
And
there.
happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
We jammed a lot in there, but I figured we'd get to know Bimo first. Bimo, what was it like working with Lauren at a radio station that no longer exists?
It was a delight, a pure, absolute delight. I worked at a few stations before, and Amp definitely had, in the corniest way, had like a cool like family vibe about it that was like really dope to work for. So like, and for someone who was a part-timer and talking to someone who was doing the morning show, Lauren never was like, oh, okay, whoever you are, whatever. Like it was always like a family vibe. I didn't feel like I was just a part-timer that only worked when no one else was in the building.
Now, did your life fall apart right around when Lauren's show got screwed, or I don't want to even say screwed, or whatever word Lauren wants me to say no longer exists?
No, because you got let go earlier than I did, unfortunately.
Well, it wasn't like let go officially as much as it was they weren't letting part-timers in the building. So it was like, you still have a job, but we don't know when we'll let you come back or whatever, which I thought, oh, in a couple weeks, we'll be good.
I know we all did. We were so stupid.
much for that.
And you know what? That's such a nicer way to look at it, because you're right. With my work, I'm just a freelancer who was showing up to a job for 13 years. And just there was no freelance work available the next day.
Yeah, it was a wild situation. And I DJ, so like the same weekend, they shut down all the clubs and everything. And I was like, cool. So like, I'm just going to do nothing for a while.
How long did you think this was going to last?
I had like 3 weeks tops.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, 3 weeks, we'll be back. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I had 6. I thought this was going to be like a massive burning, like Thanos snapping, and people just dropping dead everywhere, and then it would be over. And while I'm happy, it's different. You know, it's like a different kind of burn.
Yeah.
So when did you realize I better start learning other job skills?
Well, I don't think I did learn any other job skills.
Really?
If I'm going to be honest. I'm just doing the same stupid stuff, just in a different place.
Okay.
But I think the main part, like for TikTok, it was because Amp had started kind of like trying to like dip their toe in a bit, just because we were like a geared at a younger audience or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm part-time. I'm going to go crush TikTok. So they have to be like, we need to use this guy way more. And then all of a sudden I didn't work there. So I was like, well, I got nothing else to do. So I might as well just ride this out and see what happens.
Your TikTok was taking off before you got stopped getting hours at work.
It was almost like the same time, because I stopped it was like mid-March when I couldn't go in anymore. And it was April 11th was the first video I had that blew up. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I have to like keep up with this now, because there are people watching. Like it is not just the 30 people from before.
What was the first video that blew up for you?
It was a millennial dance video, which like dancing is not my thing. So I hated that it was a dance video, because I was like, you guys are never getting dances from me. I'm sorry
but
for that.
But you're married to a dancer though, so.
But we had gone on a walk, and like, because that's all we could do. She's a teacher, so she was at home. We had nothing else to do, so we just kept walking because everything was closed. And I noticed that TikTok had tons of millennials coming on and talking about millennials and talking about being at 30 years old on TikTok now. And I was like, we used to have all the same stupid TikTok dances, but we just did them at dances. We didn't have anywhere to put them.
Yes, it's true.
Is it?
Like, we were doing the same, like the Soldier Boy and all all these
and
other
Cupid
stupid
Shuffle.
Yeah, we were doing all those dumb things, just we were doing them in real time and no one recorded it.
Like at a bar. Yeah, exactly. We were
Yeah.
just like drunk at a bar doing them, not necessarily
Yes.
like in your room asking your parents to do choreography with you.
Yeah. So then Sarah had just said to me, she was like, we should just do a video with those old dances. And I was like, why not? So I like made a little mix of a couple of the songs. We did it. And she was like, this is going to go super viral. I was like, honey, that's not how this works. Like, babe, no, you can't, no. And then 24 hours later, it had like 700,000 likes. And I was like, okay, you win this one. You got that. You got this one.
So your wife is your producer.
Pretty much, yeah. She's producer, manager, agent, all those things.
Brains behind the operation and your train.
She's the president and CEO of the house. That's how it goes.
Well, and it's funny because I'm going to resent you for this song being stuck in my head. Let me see if I hit it at the loop at the right moment. Ready, and
that's Sarah with no H. Too bad if you don't like it, cause haters gonna. Yeah. Hello, my name is Sarah. That's Sarah with no H. Too bad if you don't.
Here we go.
Okay, so the funny part is I'm going to edit that out so you guys will look like the crazy ones.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
This on a okay. So I don't know what the hell, this is what I get for being ambitious. You know,
that's good. I liked it.
This is why half the podcasts are just record to Zoom, post it, leave it alone. But half of your show, or God, that sounds like an old man thing to say. But half of your feed, not half, but I would say a good 10% of your feed is you harassing your wife.
Yes, 100%. So the fun thing is that one day before anything ever blew up, I just stumbled upon that song, and it's like a Jimmy Fallon bit. Yeah. That he did from like SNL that he moved to the Tonight Show or whatever. And it's a song he did with will.i.am, and just that one part, because my wife's name is Sarah, she spells it with an H. And so I found it one day and I just was sitting next to her and did it, and she didn't know, and she was like posing for a picture, and then she was like, oh, stop it. Don't put me on camera, whatever. So then once after my TikTok blew up, I did it a couple more times and people loved it. I was just doing it for me because I thought it was funny, but then other people loved it. So I was like, oh, this is going. So just consistently, that's all I do. I'll wait till we're out somewhere. I did it at Kohl's the other day, out at Target. It's great. Oh, I love every single solitary second of it.
Oh my God. So when you do a TikTok, how often do you do it for you, and how often do you do it with your audience in mind?
I think every time it's a little bit of both. Like I definitely, there is like a strategy to follow to try and make sure like the audience is getting it, because TikTok's algorithm is weird and you have to have people like it right off rip and stuff. Oh. But there's definitely like a strategy I have to it for like the audience, and to make sure like they're gonna enjoy it. And then a good part of it is just like to make myself laugh. Like if I don't think it's like, if I'm making it to make me laugh and I go, this is funny, and then I'll post it and just see if someone else likes it.
Now, I got two different questions for you. The big one is you brought up the algorithm. How do I become successful on TikTok? I got 12,000 followers. It has not gone up in a year.
That's impressive. I have 0. I don't even think I'm on it. I don't know.
I have videos of me opening for BTS. I have videos with Katy Perry that have done well. We can credit that with celebrities. But my most successful video is a video my, I guess, then 12-year-old nephew, maybe 9-year-old nephew at the time. Yeah, my then 9-year-old nephew saw me record a video during a hurricane update at a family party where I said, oh, the emergency alert is on and we're all going to die. And my nephew laughed, and I posted that. That one has 500,000 views. Huh. They're doing, but actually me at the hurricane is doing better than BTS.
That's kind of par for the course. Like the first, after that dance video one, the first 3 like comedy sketches I wrote and did, before I posted them, I was like, this is garbage, but whatever, it's something to post and I'm gonna put it out there. And then like they blew up and I was like, do I not know what's funny? Am I
right?
like, I didn't think these were that good, but I don't know. It's just kind of I think it's all about just kind of catching it at the right time. I don't know it exactly, but I have like just strategies I try to follow, but I think it's just a crapshoot.
Are your strategies published somewhere? I don't want to turn this into a strategy. I want to get to know you.
Well, the one thing I stand by, it's kind of like radio in the sense that like you have a couple of seconds to grab someone's attention.
Yep.
So because it's so easy to keep scrolling. So I do it, if I see something and I'm like, meh, I just keep it moving. But if you can grab me in the first couple of seconds, I'll give you a few more seconds.
Yeah.
So I usually try to start with like, I have the labels. So like when I do millennial ones, it'll say millennials. So millennials will be like, ooh, this is about us and want to jump in.
Oh, yeah.
And I did some Disney ones where it was like, I was playing all the Disney princes, like complaining about their wives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with either Aladdin or like the Beast, like noticeable ones where someone would go, oh, this is a Disney prince thing, rather than like, there's like Prince Florian. No one knows
Who's
who
that? Right.
Exactly. So everyone would be like, I don't know what this is. So I tried to make sure they all started with someone you would recognize. So you would stop and be like, Aladdin, what is this?
That's so smart. That's so true.
So it's kind of, that's like the radio brain that kind of came back and was like, grab them. And then once you got them, give them something that they'll enjoy. So I hope when I do it every time, but sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Good write-ups too. You've been on Funny or Die. What was it? That didn't Funny or Die say you were better than anything that Saturday Night Live had done about the politics?
I mean, I'll take it. They probably did. I mean, it's me, but no, I mean, it's funny. It's funny you say SNL because I think the cool thing about TikTok is you can really build not even just like followers, but kind of like your own community. And they suddenly have like started lobbying for me to somehow be involved with SNL.
I would love it.
So they literally, every video I post, if you dig down like deep enough, any of the big ones, they start all just tagging SNL to be like, to like put the fight of being like, this man needs to either be writing or working with you. You guys need to blah, 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 blah. So I'm just sitting here waiting for the call.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I hope my fan base is taking notes right now.
Got to put them to work, man. Put them to work.
Well, but they can. But what the difference between your fan base and mine and Lauren's is your fan base came up with that idea on their own.
Yeah, that is actually true. Someone said it, and I was like, "Oh, okay. If you want to do that, I'm not gonna stop you."
Yeah. So, whereas my fan base is hashtagging "Get him a job at Walmart."
Oh, exactly. Yep.
Just get him a job. Just get him a job.
Get him a job. So here's a real question for you. If I'm going to be deep for 1 second, and then we could go to topics later. You lost your daily hours. Your wife works in fitness, so she was probably getting screwed at work too. How did you stay positive enough to stick with this at the beginning of the pandemic?
In the realest way ever, there was one day where it kind of all hit me at once. I like went by myself to go for like a walk around this like park that we had been walking at. And I like pulled up and I didn't even realize like it had like been weighing on me the way it was. And I just parked and like all of a sudden burst into tears. And I was like, what? I was like,
what are these?
I was like, what?
They are
why am I even doing this? Like, I was like, this is so sad. I'm just alone in a car in an empty parking lot. What am I doing? And then like I got out and took the walk, and somewhere on the walk, I was like, you know what? Screw this. Just keep punching away at whatever you can punch away at, and something will stick. Eventually, something's going to stick, and it'll work out if you just keep working at stuff. So then I went back home and just like started trying to get more consistent and pushing out the TikToks. And I started watching a ton of sitcoms that I had missed out on because we all had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
I would kind of take notes off of just how, like I watched The New Girl, which I had never seen. Now I'm watching like Superstore, which I didn't know.
It's the best show
I
ever,
had
and this is
no
the last
idea it was that
season.
good.
Oh, it's
So,
awesome. And it's socially like,
yes,
yes,
I know
it talks
exactly what
about
you're trying.
social things as well. I love it
Yeah.
anyway.
And
Socially
so
conscious.
I started watching stuff like that, and I was like, almost like studying it to be like, how can I make this work for me? And how can I like, how are these people who are pros doing it, writing their jokes? How are they forming their like concepts? How can I do it on a small 1 minute micro level? And so I just kind of made that the mission and just found a new thing to keep like punching at so I didn't go stir crazy. But
You had
that's kind
also
of the,
taken improv classes too, like
oh yeah,
years
yeah, yeah.
prior, just because it was just something that's right, like you've always felt like you wanted to learn more about.
Yeah, it was mainly I wanted to get quicker with my radio stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I took it for a year. And in October of 2019, we had a grad show, and I keep telling people there was one moment where it was right before the show. I wrote 3 sketches that made it into the show, but one of them was the opener, and the opener started with me playing a circus trainer guy thing. And so the show opened with me standing alone in the middle of the stage, and it would be a spotlight that hit. So I walked out terrified. We sold out the place, so I'm like literally just like shaking. And the minute the light hit, something, I don't know what it was like a shot of adrenaline. And for 2 hours it was like I was high. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could not describe it any other way. And then once it ended, I was like, whoa, yeah, I need to be doing this stuff. Like, this is the stuff right here. So that kind of flipped it. And I was going to try start doing stand up, and then the world closed.
Stand up.
That's part of the reason I wanted to introduce you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stand up is a gift and a curse. I think stand-up comedians should be taking classes from you right now. How about that? For the short answer. No, but I think you're already learning on TikTok what stand-up is, which is set up, punchline, 15 seconds. You know, like that's the, listen, if there are 3 things, and I have taught classes on stand-up, hard to believe how desperate those people were to take a class from me at that time. But no, but like the big things that I think you could apply from stand-up to life, which is set up, punchline, get to the joke quicker. With Twitter, 140 characters is a great limit. That's why I like doing interviews on Zoom, because it forces us to keep the show tighter. Like I actually had to plan ahead to make sure I get through the list with you. You know?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Those are the big things. And stand-up itself is you're spending a lot of time for jobs that pay 25 to 50 bucks. You know, like right now, if I go down the block to Stand Up New York, and I always pick big names, if Chris Rock is there, he's making the same 75 bucks I would make. You know?
That's great.
No, but that's your competition though, too.
I know. I just think that's really interesting. That
You know, I'm a big fan of do stand up and get the hell off of stand up. I mean, do stand up to monetize. Actually, and that's a great question. Lauren wanted me to ask you, how much you making on
That
TikTok?
is not true. I did not want you to ask that.
Lauren and I were texting before, and I
monetizing
said,
it.
you know how much he's making? And she said, I do not. So I think she meant, are you monetizing?
I will pleasantly say, I think the biggest thing is like, this was my wife's idea also. So like, you're going to notice the theme that like the smart one is not me. So she one day was like, why don't you sell like merch? And I was like, no one's going to want to buy a t-shirt about me.
Right. I think it's so weird.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And she's like, just do it. And then I did. And literally each month, basically that's what pays my bills.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
She was right.
It's the merch alone. And then like, there's the TikTok creator fund. There's like, if you do ads and sponsorships or whatever, that's other stuff. So like, there's extra like funny money, but I will say it is treating me kinder than when I was working 3 different jobs. So,
awesome, dude.
No, but and again, without dropping numbers, Lauren asked me to ask you to drop the numbers, and I said no, that would be rude. Lauren, that would be rude. But you're surviving on TikTok right now.
Yeah,
but you're monetizing on TikTok with your own merch.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's a weird thing I didn't think would happen, or if I'm being honest, I didn't think it was like possible. Like I didn't know you could like
What
make.
does the shirt say? Like, what does this stuff say?
So there was one, I will say there was 1 month where I realized like you can really push this merch, is that I posted a video and I just took a quote from that video because someone commented and they were like, oh, that needs to be on a shirt. And so I put it on, and then I did another video being like, you asked, so here it is. And instantly it was like $1,000 worth of shirts sold. And I was like,
crazy.
I was like, what just happened? Oh my, okay. You guys want shirts? We got shirts. We got all the shirts. Yeah. What do you want on it? Just tell me. We got it. Go right ahead.
No, and then you design them and you put them up somewhere.
Yeah. So I just there's this site, Teespring, which like is great because I don't have to do any work. I just literally design a shirt and like put it on like the store that they give you, and they make them to order and they send them. They do all the stuff, and when you make it, they tell you what the profit will be. So if you charge like $25 for the shirt, your profit will be like $10 or whatever it is, and the rest they keep for just like having to make the actual shirt.
Now, I don't want to make this sound too easy. I don't want Lauren to give up being a mother to go into the t-shirt business here. But it's not just, hey, I made a shirt and these TikTok videos. How many hours a day are you spending making these videos? Because they're really high quality.
Yeah.
I should plan better, if I'm being honest, but it's just every day I like write one, shoot it, edit it, and put it out. In the process altogether takes maybe like an hour 15.
That's it?
Or something like that.
Now I hate
amazing. I thought it would be so much longer than that. That's incredible.
Well, at first it took me a lot longer because
Yes.
I was changing clothes line for line, which was stupid.
Yeah, no, dude.
Like,
I know.
so stupid. But then like I kind of mastered the art of putting it together, and the thing that takes the longest is kind of editing it together on my phone at the end, just because I can be picky and fussy about it. But other than that, like writing it and shooting it usually like is pretty quick for me. It's the editing that takes me like forever.
I remember there was one day that you came into the studio and you were like making a TikTok of all of us in the studio. And I kept thinking to myself, what the F is this kid wasting his time doing? But it's just because like, it's not my thing, but I don't like doing it, but I love watching them. So like, I'll go on TikTok and scroll forever and ever and ever. But like, you will never see me make a TikTok. I just can't do it. I don't have the patience. I don't.
It is like, I don't know why, but I just sort of have like, I kind of fell in love with the process of like, because every one I post, I'm playing every character. So I'm somehow talking to myself, and I just think it's cool to look at it from how I wrote it, then to as I'm shooting it and watching it develop into the idea that I wanted it to be is like my favorite part. So then I put it out there, and if people like, if it doesn't blow up, I'm like, you guys are idiots. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That was funny.
Yeah. And by the way, I get a kick out of watching you play God. You're like a young TikTok Morgan Freeman. It's adorable. 4 minutes left. I'm hoping you're going to come back for one more segment, and I'll just send a new Zoom invite out. But focusing on finishing the interview with you, how are you algorithm proofing yourself?
Algorithm proofing?
Yeah. Are you afraid TikTok will one day change the algorithm and make, I don't know, teenage girls in Detroit more popular? I don't know. Like,
to be fair, there is a consistent, steady stream of butts that just get all the love on TikTok. I will assure you, I have had many a day where I'll be thumbing through TikTok and I'll see a terrible video that's like 7 seconds of someone shaking a butt. And it has like 3 million likes. And I'm like, how? I'm putting in all this work. And I am like fighting just to get a million views. Like that to me is a massive, massive day. You have 3 million likes and all you did was shake a butt.
Let me tell you, as a woman, there are two types of women in this world: those who will use their sexuality to get ahead, and those who refuse to do that. And being in that latter category drives me nuts, because I always feel like, man, I feel like I could have made this a lot easier on myself.
Yeah, and as a single man, I'm looking for someone in the former category.
I understand. I respect it.
Yes. Listen, we got 3 minutes left on this. I was gonna say, would you guys mind, BMO, if you got time? I would love for you to come back, and then maybe you can do topics as if this were a silly little morning show. Maybe you could go back to your radio roots with us. Would you like that?
I am all for it. I make TikToks for a living. I can do whatever I want. I have nothing but free time.
Well, now that I know how little time it takes you, yeah, you sure.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I'd be really pissed. I would be really pissed if you said, well, it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to do it. But sorry, Tom and Lauren, don't have time for you. Good luck.
Right. But sorry, I gotta go. I gotta go catch up on Netflix.
Gotta get out of here.
So I gotta go.
More Superstore.
All right, guys. So just quick transition. We will be right back after this.
That's Sarah with no H. Too bad if you don't like it, cause haters gonna.
If you get a chance, subscribe to the Tom Kelly Show podcast on all the major podcast providers. Sign up for the Tom Kelly Show email list at TomKellyShow.com. And of course, you can find me and contact me personally at Tom Kelly Show on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, Venmo, TikTok, and FarmersOnly.com.